Okay, this is the task 6 example. So to begin with, I'm going to come onto my 4-beat piano roll chart, and the first thing I'll do is, maybe with a green pen, just make it clearer where each of the beats begin in my one bar. So this is beat 1, beat 2, beat 3 and beat 4. If you look closely at the grid, you'll be able to see that each beat is split up into 4 parts, so each being a quarter of a beat long. Now what I'll do is, you can see I've got my task 3 rhythm over the top there, and I'm just going to write that out again. So at beat 1, I chose a crotchet. In beat 2, it was a crotchet rest. In beat 3, I chose 2 quavers, and in beat 4, I chose 2 semiquavers followed by a quaver, and that was my rhythm from task 3. So all I'm going to do now is convert that into what it would look like on the piano roll chart below. So dealing with beat 1 to begin with, if I imagine recording these on C3, so I'm going to draw a box like that and colour it in, so that because it's a 1-beat note, it'll fill the full length of that 1 beat between 1 and 2. Okay, then there's nothing in beat 2 at all, because I chose to have a 1-beat rest. So the next note's going to start at the beginning of 3, but as it's a quaver, it's only going to be half, and the second quaver fills the other half. And then finally in this 4th beat, I've got a quarter beat note followed by a quarter beat note followed by a half beat note. Just colour those in. And this is roughly, when you've recorded it on GarageBand, this is roughly what it'll look like. To make those stand out a little bit more, I'm going to go around each of the notes in red. This will make it easier for you to see on your screen. Doesn't do this on GarageBand, but this is just easier for the moment. Okay, and then once you've added those bits onto your piano roll chart, just upload it to Shobi. So in the next part of task 3, we will record this rhythm into GarageBand and edit it so that it fits perfectly in time. So I've still got the rhythm over the top there, just to remind you of it written down. And I'm first of all going to go over to here and tap on Smart Piano. At the right hand end of the keyboard, you've got this red button. If you tap it, you'll get the piano keyboard that comes up there. And we're going to record this whole rhythm onto a C3 note, otherwise known as middle C. So the next thing is I'm going to, I need to check the tempo is okay. It's not too fast for me to record actually. So if I press play, that might be tricky. So I'm going to slow it down a bit. Tap on the settings at the top right hand corner, the cog, and go to tempo, and just draw your finger down. I'm going to go for 72 beats per minute. Let's check that. Okay, so then I'll try to record it. 2, 3, 4. Press the square to stop. And it is just that 1 bar, it's just that bit at the beginning. So I'm going to tap it and go to edit. And I can zoom in by pinch zooming outwards like that. Okay, so moving your fingers that way apart horizontally. And you can see, there we go. So that's too far zoomed out. I'll go back in a little bit, and you'll start to see the same grid as you've got on your the sheet that you had before. Okay, so we need to edit it so that we make the notes the length that they need to be. But something I'm going to do first is a process called quantizing. So actually, if I just come back out of that a second by pressing done, I go to the mix button at the top with the 3 faders, go to track settings, quantization, straight, and then we need to look back at the rhythm and see what the shortest note value was. And you'll be able to check on your chart from task 2 to see what value you need to choose for this. The shortest note value in that rhythm is a semiquaver, which is in beat 4 there. So semiquaver we need to select 1/16th note as our quantization value. Listen to the rhythm back to check that it's roughly correct. There we go, it is roughly correct. You can now press the mix button again to hide the column at the side of the screen. And we're back to here. So let's double tap and go edit to get back inside and zoom in. So all the starts of our notes are now perfectly in time, which is really good, and that's what Quantize does. It moves them up to the grid line that they should be on exactly. Takes away the human error. So I've tapped on that first note. I'm just going to drag out the end to make it so that it's exactly 1 beat long as I designed in the first place. Then I've got to have 4 columns of semiquaver just completely empty, because in beat 2 I've got that 1 beat rest. The next one, this note here, that should be a quaver. So in other words, 2 quarter boxes. So that goes across to here. So it fills up half a beat, and the next one fills up, next one fills up half a beat as well. Now in the 4th beat, I should have 2 quarter beat notes. So at the moment they're too short. So let's make them perfect length, and then the last one covers 2 columns because it's a half beat note. And there we go. Let's just play it back to check it sounds correct. There we go. Okay, the first note is quite loud, so if I think maybe I was a little bit nervous when I recorded that, so if you double tap or single tap on it and click velocity, you can turn that note down so it's not so loud at the beginning. Listen to it back again. There we go, and that's complete.